Ladies and gentlemen, I have the privilege of presenting to you the principal orator for the 2012 Spring Commencement Convocation of the University of the District of Columbia, the Honorable William Lacy Clay of the United States House of Representatives. Representative Clay.
Good morning, and thank you for that welcome. President Sessoms, Dr. Bain, Dr. Guevara, members of the Board of Trustees, and members of the faculty, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so honored to share a few words with you on this wonderful occasion. The University of the District of Columbia has a special place in the heart of this community. And over the last few years, this university has really emerged as an educational jewel that attracts students from across the nation and around the world. This is America's only urban land-grant university, as John mentioned. We can applaud that. How about that? Very few institutions of higher learning can trace their origins back to before the Civil War. But even back then, your founders were fully engaged in the struggle to achieve equal rights and full educational opportunities for everyone. And we shouldn't be surprised that just like today, black women led the way with strength, faith, and an unyielding determination to establish this institution. Your founding mother, Myrtilla Minor, a leading educator and abolitionist in her time, faced bigotry and ridicule when she insisted on founding the Normal School for Colored Girls in 1851. The predecessor of this great university. But as one of her contemporaries, Harriet Beecher Stowe, the world-renowned author of Uncle Tom's Cabin, who was also one of the original benefactors of this university, said, and I quote, "When you get into a tight place and everything goes against you till it seems you could not hold a minute longer, never give up then, for that is just the place and time that the tide will turn," end of quote. Your founders believed that everyone who was willing to strive and work hard deserved a chance to go to college. And to this day, the University of the District of Columbia is still the only public university in the capital city of the greatest nation on earth. We can applaud that too. You know, your list of distinguished alumni includes remarkable men and women who have excelled in every profession. And they include Dennis Antoine, U.S. Ambassador to Grenada and permanent representative to the Organization of American States. Dr. Euphemia Lofton Hayes, the first African-American woman to receive a PhD in mathematics. We can applaud that too. U.S. District Judge Norma Holloway Johnson, Kathy L. Lanier, D.C. Chief of Police, Lynn McCain, co-founder of the D.C. Youth Orchestra, Michael Pearson, Associate Judge, Circuit Court, Prince George's County, Portia Holmes Shields, first female president of Albany State University. We can applaud that too, at first. Melvin Wright, Associate Judge, Superior Court of the District of Columbia, and John R. Thompson, former head basketball coach at Georgetown University. You know, the University of the District of Columbia is not only setting the standard for undergraduate and graduate degrees, you're also showing the way through your new community college, which was urgently needed in D.C. And of course, your outstanding School of Law, which is nationally recognized. We can applaud the School of Law also. So you have a great deal to be proud of. And that is why I collaborated with this university to establish a congressional internship program that students from this university can work in members of Congress' office and get a first-hand experience of Capitol Hill. And that was a no-brainer, ladies and gentlemen. Why wouldn't you have students from this university be on Capitol Hill in their community? And that brings us to today's proceedings. To the faculty, parents, family, friends, and most importantly, the class of 2012. Congratulations. Congratulations on making it to this day. And you know, in this new century, we will only be as strong as the opportunities that we provide you, all of our young people. A number of historically black colleges and universities have that same standard because HBCUs have a special role to play in the lives of African American students in our entire nation. You know, for me, supporting and celebrating HBCUs is hardwired into my family's DNA. You see, my great-great-grandfather, Private George Clay, who served in the 65th Regiment in the U.S. Colored Troops during the Civil War, and enlisted on November 17, 1864 in St. Charles, Missouri, and mustered out at Baton Rouge, Louisiana on November 16, 1865. When his term of service expired, he, like other colored troopers, was given a bonus of 66 2/3, and that would be about $950 in today's money. Well, Private George Clay pooled his service bonus with other colored troops to found Lincoln Institute in Jefferson City, Missouri, for the special benefit of freed blacks. And this fine Missouri institution was later renamed Lincoln University. And today I also have the honor of representing Harris Stowe State University in St. Louis, another great HBCU that I'm very proud of. So this is more than just another commencement speech for me. And I understand the University of the District of Columbia core mission and the indispensable role that you play for young African American students. And America will continue to be strong only if we enhance and expand our leadership in science, technology, research, and innovation. As President Obama said in his State of the Union address, each generation must sacrifice and struggle and meet the demands of a new age. Now it is our turn to win the future. We need to out-innovate, out-educate, and out-build the rest of the world. That's President Obama. And I know that to get to this day, many of you have had to overcome some big obstacles. And I also know that you didn't make it on your own. You had people rooting for you and working for you. To your families, today represents the fulfillment of their dreams for you. This is their achievement as well. So let's do this. Let's give it up for your parents and grandparents, your sisters and brothers, your cousins, your uncles, your aunties, and this is their day too. Let's give them a big hand. Yeah, you can stand for them. How about that? Stand up for them. You know, many of you are the first in your family to go to college. Generations of your families have worked to get you here. They struggled, they fought, and they sacrificed much to build this community and our nation. And they continue to invest in the idea that America is a place where you can make it if you work hard. Our historically black colleges and universities are engaged in an unending struggle to open up the doors of opportunity and advancement to those who have been shut out of the American dream for too long. And that's why I was so proud to join President Obama and my colleagues in the Congressional Black Caucus to urge Congress to increase federal funding to HBCUs by $850 million over the next decade. You know, we are emerging from the most severe economic downturn since the Great Depression, and the world is changing so quickly, faster than ever before. Massive shifts in technology have transformed what our economy looks like. But just as advances in technology have the power to make our lives better, they also force us to compete with other nations like never before. So as you make your way in this ever-changing world, know that as a country, we've been through even tougher times and emerged that much stronger. Through it all, America has persevered, and we've prospered. The people who came before us never quit, and they never stopped building a better future. And we need the trained minds of graduates like you to rebuild our infrastructure, restore our public schools, transform our neighborhoods, achieve real energy independence, and give America a new competitive edge that will keep us moving forward. In this country, we believe that everyone has value, everyone has talent, and everyone deserves an equal opportunity to succeed. So class of 2012, change will be your constant companion. That can be scary and that can be hard. But I have total faith that you will overcome, and I know that because we've done it before. One of America's greatest early scientific researchers, inventors, and educators, Dr. George Washington Carver, hailed from my home state of Missouri. And he served for many years with great distinction on the faculty of the Tuskegee Institute. When Dr. Carver was asked to advise graduates about setting goals for a meaningful life, he said this: "How far you go in this life depends on your being tender with the young, compassionate with the aged, sympathetic with the striving, and tolerant of both the weak and strong, because someday in your life you will have been all of these." You know, Dr. Carver was absolutely right, and yet he could have never envisioned a graduating class with as many opportunities as the class of 2012. The world you enter into today has fewer walls. Your generation has grown up more accepting and tolerant of people for who they are. You see our nation's diversity as a precious asset and not a weakness. Class of 2012, you and your generation are now responsible for the future. And you will have to reclaim the American dream and keep it alive for future generations. And as you pursue your own personal dreams in whatever field you choose, remember that there are other measurements of success besides just wealth and material gains. Whenever I'm asked to give a speech like this, I always recall one of the last talks that Dr. Martin Luther King gave just a few days before he was taken from us. And like most prophets who spoke truth to power, Dr. King sensed that his time in this world would likely be cut short. So when he was asked how he would like to be remembered, he gave us a wonderful teaching about how to truly measure your life. And in 1968, he said this: "If any of you are around when I have to meet my day, I don't want a long funeral. And if you get somebody to deliver the eulogy, tell them not to talk too long. Tell them not to mention that I have a Nobel Peace Prize. That isn't important. Tell them not to mention that I have 300 or 400 other awards. That's not important. Tell them not to mention where I went to school. I'd like somebody to mention that day that Martin Luther King Jr. tried to give his life serving others. I'd like for somebody to say that day that Martin Luther King Jr. tried to love somebody. I want you to say that day that I tried to be right on the war question. I want you to be able to say that day that I did try to feed the hungry. And I want you to be able to say that day that I did try in my life to clothe those who were naked. I want you to say on that day that I did try in my life to visit those who were in prison. And I want you to say that I tried to love and serve humanity. That was 40 years ago. But his words are as true today as they were back then. So what I ask of each of you as you walk out of here today is this: pursue success. Do not falter. Never quit. But when you make it, lift somebody else up. Pass it on to the next generation. Move it forward. And remember, all of our lives are richer when everyone has a chance to succeed. That's the essence of what the University of the District of Columbia is all about. Be proud, be brave, guard your integrity, honor your families by the choices that you make. And above all, always believe that God put you here to do great things in this life. He expects nothing less from you. And neither do I. Thank you. Congratulations. May God bless you, and may God continue to bless the United States. 2012.